Hey, welcome everybody. A little bit of investigative journalism today, a little research, and I want everybody's help. If you use Built rewards, if you live in a place that forces you to use Built, in the comments, please share your experience. After this video uploads and goes up on the archives, it'll be seen by a lot more people, most likely tonight. So, whatever your experience with Built Rewards is, explain or tell us in the comments. That may highlight your story later in the week in a follow up video. So, Built Rewards, in my opinion, is an example of people using technology and using payments to make life more difficult for the rest of us. Like we should be using technology to make life easier and more convenient. That goes without saying, right? In the year 2025, all the incredible technology we have should go toward making life more fair and more convenient and faster, less difficult, less stressful, right? More accountability, less stress. And instead, Built Rewards like takes everything we know about payment APIs and credit card processors and just it comes in there as a literal rent-seeking middleman. So for people who don't know, a lot of high-end rental properties, a lot of high-end real estate across the country. For some reason, a lot of these properties, which are owned by these mega corporations, right? When they make one decision, like when they decide to go with Built, it doesn't just get applied to one building. Hundreds of buildings suddenly start using Built, BILT, Built. So it's very rare in fintech, very rare in finance that I find a company that's adding literally no value. It's literally not making the process of paying your rent easier. It's making it more difficult and it's benefiting Built, not you, not me, unless they're giving some kind of kickback to the landlord companies. They're not getting much out of it either. Don't they want their tenants to pay on time and to be able to pay easily? Built is the most complicated piece of garbage I've come across in a long time. And so I realize viewers will be asking, what did they do to you, David? What's the specific grievance here? And that's the issue is they did nothing to me. Their actual service is garbage. So it used to be when you paid rent, you would give your rental company a check. And then more recently, they do ACH transfers, right? For the last like 20 years, they just debit it from your bank account. And as a last ditch method, if for some reason you want to put it on a credit card, these rental companies have credit card processors, right? They send you off to their processing page. You type in your credit card, they add a little fee, and then your rent is paid, right? So you have options: check, credit card, bank transfer. So now all these buildings go, no, the only way you can pay is through the Built app, which means you have to sign up for Built. You have to give them all your banking information. You have to give this company you know nothing about your most private financial details after you've already given all that stuff to your rental property. Just to be able to pay your rent, you got to create this Built account, which now there are two passwords you got to juggle, right? Because it's not only your rental portal with your company that owns the building, it's now also Built, this little parasite in the middle that processes credit cards and bank transfers for your landlord, but they do it in such a fucking ridiculous way. Like to have to log into a completely separate service and they give you these points with every payment. You get Built points, but the Built points don't come anywhere close to how much they're charging you in credit card processing fees. So for example, I've got a place, the Built fee is like 200 bucks. $200 to process a credit card. And hey, if I got money, if that were the end of the issue, if it was just a little bit more expensive than the previous system, I wouldn't feel a need to do a video about this, right? It's not just the cost. It's that they don't even work with some major credit cards. So here you sign up for Built, you give them all your fucking most intimate personal information that if Built rewards were ever hacked, it would be bad for you financially. And you give them all your info and then it's time to pay. Oh, Citi card rejected. We don't work well with Citibank. "Oh, okay, that's one of the largest banks in the world, though." And then I tried my Robinhood card. "Oh, Robinhood actually has Bilt rewards blocked. They don't want to work with Bilt at all." And if this were like some scummy landlord thing for low income people, I'd say, "Hey, that sucks." But there's a lot of predatory stuff in the finance world when it comes to low value stuff. This is high end properties. High end properties. I don't know why they all got convinced by Bilt, this company with no record, this startup that comes out of nowhere. They've literally made the process of paying your rent more difficult in 2025. We had this one figured out completely. This is a solution for which there is no problem. Paying your rent, the issue is as long as you have money, right? The problem with paying your rent is if you don't have the money. If you have the money, it should be easy enough to pay the company that owns your building. Credit card, bank transfer, or handing them a check. And again, these systems have been in place for like 20 years. We've had portal websites where you can log in and pay your rent using a card or whatever. And now we have Bilt. I don't want a reward program to pay my rent. I just want to be able to pay my rent. And again, as far as I can tell, the reward program is an absolute scam because all the time you're taking up logging into Bilt, when it finally goes through the payment, when you finally find a payment method that actually works with their shitty service, the points they give you are worth like nothing. It's like $35 in points. And meanwhile, they're charging you $200 more than the cost of your rent. Absolute garbage service. And I realize some people are saying, well, what about all the injustice in the world, David? Why aren't you on the flotilla with Greta? Why aren't you out there with Greta Thunberg? Well, I think injustice, I've said this many times before over the years. Injustice, you start at home. You start locally if you want to fix things. You start with your community. And here it's like every month I have to deal with this service that, as far as I can tell, is a fucking scam. And there's no way out. It's like they own all these rental companies. They've convinced them all this is some great value. It's fucking disgusting. This is an area where Bitcoin should be able to swoop in, right? Why is another option on all these portal websites? Everybody who rents, this is a country of renters, right? I have a lot of money, but I still rent a nice place, right? Like there's some properties that aren't for sale. They offer leases, right? So that's my situation, not this place, the other place I have. And again, why impose this garbage service on all of us? How is this making life better? Again, QR code. Every month, your rental company should send you an email. Your rent is due. Here's a QR code with our Bitcoin wallet, right? It could be just a uniquely generated Bitcoin address that once it's satisfied, once it sees a payment has hit that address on the blockchain, then they know your rent's paid. Isn't that more elegant? In 10 minutes or so, it's confirmed on the blockchain. Your rental company's website can easily confirm that you've received the money. You've received the money irrevocably, right? It can't be refunded. The reason why there are so many credit card fees is the high rate of credit card failures, or the high rate of chargebacks and stuff. This makes no sense. Why does Bilt Rewards exist? Why isn't there like a Coinbase rental service? Why doesn't Coinbase have like coinbase.com/rent payments? Like why isn't somebody on this? Do I have to do everything myself? Vibro says $200 transaction fee sounds like Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin's not that bad. This is my point. Why aren't we having crypto swoop in here? Rent is something people have to deal with every month, either a rent or a mortgage payment. I really hope Bilt doesn't get into mortgages also. But this company, people in the comments tonight, please let me know if you use Bilt. Am I off the wall? Have you derived value from using Bilt rewards? Or does it just make the process of paying for your home every month more difficult than it needs to be? Again, this is 2025. Bilt feels like a business from like the year 2004. Oh, you can process credit cards? Like, what the fuck? Whole thing feels corrupt. I don't want to say much more, but it actually feels corrupt. Why are a handful of massive real estate companies all going with this rewards program that again takes all your info, charges you an outrageous fee on top, even above and beyond what Stripe or anybody else would charge, Stripe or PayPal? It's like, why isn't your landlord just using PayPal at that point? Anyway, just completely disgusted. It's very rare that I stumble across a business that's popular, that is, that popular. It's used by millions of people, and it's garbage. It's absolute dog shit. Even the app glitching out when I was trying to redeem my Bilt points, $37 in points. Trying to redeem it, it kept failing. So you won't even give me the shitty points that I've earned from using your shitty platform. What absolute garbage. Any rental company who uses Bilt is basically giving a big fat middle finger to all their tenants. That's all you're doing. You're not making life easier for us. You're giving us a fat middle finger. To what end? Why? Why? Why not just accept Bitcoin payments in addition to credit cards and checks? Hopefully this makes some waves, because again, there's something wrong with this company. I don't care if they try to sue me or take this video down. What does it do to the end user? How does Bilt Rewards make your life even marginally better? Thank you guys.